Um, Welcome to my review of the series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, this is not the TV show I'm talking about. I'm talking about the comic series that was launched last year after having previously known as S.H.I.E.L.D. and now known as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm not talking about S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. I'll talk about at a different time, but this is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The final issue was released today. The book was canceled with only 10 issues published. Honestly, I've heard that the reason the series got canceled was because of low sales. I honestly don't get why people weren't buying this book. The book was good. All 10 issues really good. And one thing unique about this book is the fact that it actually had an artist staying on for more than one issue. I mean, nothing to criticize the artist that they picked for the series S.H.I.E.L.D. This one, they kept the same artist for 10 straight issues. Now, there were two story arcs they had for this series for 10 issues. The first arc sort of encompassed the first 4 issues, I'd say. Yeah, the first 4 issues, even though that issues, I think it was 5 and 6, were tied into a crossover, which we'll get to in a minute. The first arc is known as the Coulson Protocols. Now, to explain, the Coulson Protocols are meant to sort of take down superheroes. Okay? It's explained what the Coulson Protocols there. The first issue opens with the Silver Centurion Iron Man armor attacking the Pentagon. Now I'm like, this can't be Tony in this armor because Tony hasn't used this armor since the 80s. So what's going on here? It is sort of later revealed a couple issues after this, where it's actually, get this, Grant Ward. Yep, they brought him in. I had heard they were going to bring him into this comic. It was heavily rumored that he was going to be in there, and guess what? He was in there, and he appears through almost all 10 issues he appears in. Well, first he started as an ex-agent, then later on he got rehired on a probation status. It was nice to see him in the Marvel Comic Universe. I got hands to the artist for giving a very striking resemblance to the actor who plays him on a TV show, who is not currently on the show, because the actor left after season 3. Yes, the character, well, he basically kind of died about halfway through season 3 after being on the show for 2.5 years. And then his body was taken over by a creature known as Hive, and he took over as simply the main villain of the second half of season 3. So these were the two villains overall. That's something for another time. But I really enjoy Grant Ward. I really did. He was kind of bland when he started the show, then he got more interesting later on. But in the comic, he's a very interesting character to read about. Oh, and also we figured out where does Coulson's car, which does appears in a handful of the issues, but it doesn't appear in the entire series, but it does appear a lot. It appeared also a lot in the pages of Deadpool during Gary Duggan's first 24 issues. It appeared very heavily during that run. It's revealed that the car is named after a former girlfriend of Coulson's. Yeah, so Coulson's flying car is named after a former girlfriend, who apparently is a telepath. Okay? Yeah, and this woman after the first arc, never seen again. No one brings her up at all. Yeah, she completely disappears. But I should also bring up that apparently Quake, who have been drawn basically the inspiration for her look was heavily inspired by Angelina Jolie from the film Hackers, which I have seen. It's a really good movie. And then for some reason, because of the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., when she appeared in the S.H.I.E.L.D. comic, well, not that particular comic per se, when it was relaunched as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they start drawing her like Chloe Bennett from the show. I'm kind of like, why? It's completely unnecessary to draw. Now, this character I don't get, because this character was already a pre-existing comic book character already. She had been in the universe since the miniseries Secret War. Now, what about Phil Coulson and the other people from the show who appear in the show and appear in the comic? Well, those people I don't have a problem being drawn like their actual actor counterparts, mainly because They came from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and they're put into the Marvel Comic Universe. Don't have a problem with that. My big problem was with Quake. That was my problem. Oh yes, also mentioned that Mr. Hyde does guest star in issue 7 of the previous series, S.H.I.E.L.D. And for some reason, I don't know if anyone pointed this out, when Mr. Hyde is in his Calvin Zabel form, he is drawn like Kyle MacLachlan, I think that's how you pronounce his name, the actor who played him on the show. I had to point that out, but that's a comic for another time. I actually really enjoy it. Now, pretty much throughout the first arc, now the cast for the first arc of the series is simply 5 of the characters from the show, which is simply just Coulson, Fitz, Simmons, May, Quake, along with Deathlock, the current Deathlock from the comic, not the one from the show. This one's completely different. There's some similarities, but this character was basically based upon the version they had from the show. Though he did meet Michael Collins, in case some of you wondering, did he ever meet Michael Collins? Yes, he did, in his own comic book. And of course, Mockingbird, who basically is, if you notice how she looked in the Amazing Spider-Man comic when the current volume started, yeah, she's still wearing the same outfit. Heck, even in her own solo comic, she wears that same exact outfit. Yeah, the costume was designed by Peter Parker. Yep, it was. But the arc was actually pretty enjoyable to read. And of course, the arc kind of ended, leading into the stuff with Pleasant Hill. Basically, you can kind of look at it as sort of the first few issues of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as sort of a prologue into Pleasant Hill, the Avengers Standoff crossover, which when it referenced Pleasant Hill, I believe it referenced it in issue 3. Yeah, that's simply the way it was. But it's a quite enjoyable story arc for what it is. And it is collected in trade. They recently collected in trade, but the second arc they have not been in trade because it just concluded today. 5 and 6 are just crossover issues with the series New Avengers as part of the event Standoff. Now, Standoff, the only issues that pretty much advanced the main story was Sam Wilson, Captain America. The 2 issues of that series did advance the storyline itself. The way the crossover work is quite bizarre, to say the least. Sam Wilson, Captain America was the main story, and what about the other 4 books that are part of this crossover? Actually, it was 5. They had 1 issue of Howling Commando as part of this one, so it's over loose tie-in. Pretty much they had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had crossed with New Avengers, and all new or different Avengers crossed over with the Kenny Avengers series, yeah. And pretty much in the first 2, pretty much in excuse me, both parts, they fight the New Avengers. Also, it's revealed that somehow Rick Jones, the former sidekick who was revealed during the event, stand out to be the character Whisper, the hacker who had been appearing as sort of a reference, basically appears as a voice throughout the first arc of Captain America Sam Wilson. And it's revealed to be Rick Jones, and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are sent after him. And they stop him. He stops them with Taskmaster's shield, which I'm kind of like, when the heck did they get that? And he had a few other objects with him. Basically, if you read the comic, you're like geeking out on what stuff he actually attacks him with. Now, the people who go after him is Deathlock. I think it was Deathlock, May, and I believe Fitz went after him in those in those issues. And simply put, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will keep an eye on him. Before I continue, tell me like, why can't you use an audio-only video? Because those things take a while anyways. But I'm still planning on doing more. But anyways, the arc itself, well, the crossover was really good. And because of the fact that what happened in the previous arc, basically with the Coulson Protocols, the second arc is known as Under New Management, which is also a Civil War II tie-in storyline. It's only 4 parts long. And basically, Coulson sort of gets a wind of a vision that Ulysses has, that apparently during one of the battles during the actual Civil War, that apparently when Daredevil falls off a bridge, apparently he gets impaled on some spike. So Coulson is told to stay away, and he ignores that, and he actually saves Daredevil's life. Now, Daredevil is not as I'm not kidding about this. It's like some writers, for some reason, Guggenheim is writing kind of how Maria Hill was written during the original Civil War event. Very annoying in a way, basically very jerky in a way. Excuse me. She's kind of like that, but not as bad as the original Civil War event. At the end of, I believe it was the second part, Coulson gets fired and spends the next 2 issues on the run. Actually, I think he gets fired about the part when he gets fired by Maria Hill and becomes former Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Also, for some reason, at the end of issue 8, Elektra joins the team completely out of nowhere. And I should point out, Elektra is wearing her costume she wore in the Daredevil Netflix show. And no, she is not drawn like the actress playing the show. Thank you for not doing that. I'm not liking Daisy being drawn like Chloe Bennett. I'm not appreciating that at all, because that character was completely necessary. This one, I'm kind of glad they didn't do that one, because there was really no need to. She's drawn like how she normally is. The only additions they put to the outfit was simply they gave her a shield armband to wear around because she doesn't have sleeves in her outfit, and she wears a blue headband. That's really the only additions they gave to her outfit. And apparently at the end of the issue, she accuses Fitz of being a traitor. Then in the next issue, apparently May has a problem with Elektra, and this excited me a lot. May brings up what happened during the events of the original Enemy of State storyline from Wolverine Volume 3, issues 20 to 32, when Elektra was involved in bringing down the Black Hawk helicarrier. Yeah, I'm kind of like, wow, that was a great reference. And I love the and this is something Marvel very rarely does. This little editor's note is like, what happened? Like, so because what happened during, it says because he took down the Black Hawk. That was a helicarrier that was destroyed there at the storyline, and it said, "See Wolverine Enemy of State." Thank you, editors, for putting that in there. You should put those more often, so we have a good idea of what the heck you're talking about. Because not everybody who reads comics basically have reading comics since, I don't know, the 60s. But I thought that was great. And even Elektra points us out to Maria Hill that apparently May has a problem with authority, specifically hers. And now the reason why that May brought up the helicarrier Blackhawk, because apparently she had friends on the Blackhawk. So that's the reason why she couldn't trust Elektra. I thought Elektra additions to the cast was a bit interesting, but it's just by sad coincidence. 2 issues after she joined the cast, she gets the series ends. Also, prior to at the start of the story, apparently off panel, Daisy Johnson has taken a leave of absence from S.H.I.E.L.D. because what happened with the Coulson Protocols. And the last issue is simply, well, basically, Fitz went on a run after issue 8, and by the end of the last issue, which came out today, Coulson and Simmons were rehired, and the issue ended with simply just the cover replaced Elektra with Bill Coulson. I should point out the cover is a homage to a classic cover. I believe it's a homage to, if I remember correctly, I believe it's a homage to, I know it was used for the Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. trade, which collect the second half of his run for Strange Tales. It's been used a few times over the year. It's a very good looking cover, and I think Jim Steranko drew it back I think the 60s. I don't know which book it was used for. I think it was used for a cover. I know it wasn't used for Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1 because I've seen the cover for that. Maybe it was used for one of the other issue covers. I'm not really sure. But it was great the fact for the final issue to use that very cover. And the book itself ended with a good note. And apparently Phil Coulson in the series, even during in this series, whenever he was seen in the book, he was wearing a suit and tie like he does in the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. That's fine. I personally have a problem with that. Um, I thought this was weird, and I noticed this also in a couple of issues, that apparently they decided to put Phil Coulson in a SHIELD uniform. Now, him wearing a SHIELD uniform really makes no sense. I mean, I get the fact he doesn't wear it in the TV show, but why does he have to wear it in the comic? I mean, yeah, all the SHIELD agents do that, but Phil Coulson is... I think he would be the exception to that, because he's frequently seen without the SHIELD suit. And I'm kind of thinking, though, why would he have to put the SHIELD suit on? Because oh yeah, he got hired by SHIELD. And then all of a sudden, they decided to just put him in a SHIELD costume. That itself, like I said, really makes no sense. Overall, like I said, it was a great series to read. I really wish Marvel would not have canceled this book. I mean, Guggenheim was a great choice to do this book because they're using elements from the TV show into the comic, which, okay, that's fine. Guggenheim, I definitely thought was a good choice for two reasons. One, because he has experience writing comic books, and two, he knows how to write characters from a TV show. He's done it with the Arrow comic. I think he did it with the Arrow Season 2.5 comic and the Arrow in the original Arrow comic, which was set during Season 1. So, yeah, good thing to pick someone with experience, and he has read Green Arrow before, in case you're wondering. But, yeah. So, overall, for this particular series, I really wish Marvel would not have canceled this book, but apparently sales basically killed the book. I don't get why people weren't buying the book. The book was awesome. I'm sure people who actually watched the show probably bought the book. I know a few people probably bought it because Deathlock was in the book, because they love the Deathlock series. But as for where the characters are going to go, who knows? And the book, and at the end of the book said, "Not the end," which I'm kind of glad Guggenheim did that, because yeah, this is not the end for the characters of the series. I kind of feeling as though that Marvel will bring this series back. Maybe they're going to. I highly doubt I'm going to give it to Wade, because the guy's going to be kind of busy. I mean, I would think that the critics of the series basically would say, yeah, Guggenheim's writing does work for this series. So, I think that if they want to relaunch the book, they're probably going to keep Guggenheim on the writing. As for the artist, they might change it, because I haven't heard any complaints about the artwork. The artwork was gorgeous in the book. I love the artwork. I don't remember who the artist was for the book. I had to look it up, but yeah, overall for the whole entire series, all 10 issues, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's a great series to read. I really, really wish Marvel would not have ended it. But if you want to read it, go ahead. You can. I'm sure there's still plenty. I think maybe the reason why I got canceled, the reason why people weren't buying the book, because of the price tag, $3.99. That could be the reason why. I don't know. But I think for this particular book specifically, they should have lowered it down to $2.99. This is one of those books they should have done it for. Now, I can do a whole video of books that can keep at $3.99, but everything else, drop it down $1. Yeah, that could be the reason why no one bought it, because of the price tag. That could be the reason why. I don't know. I'm just theorizing. Where could the characters go from here? Well, if they had brought the series back, I would think they would keep the same cast as they were in there. Who would add to the book? If I was in charge of the book, I would definitely keep Guggenheim as the writer and the artist. But which characters would I have Guggenheim add to the book? Well, for one thing, I would keep the cast exactly where it is by the end of issue 10. But the only agent I would throw in is I would throw in the agent from the Deathlock series, because I think she should be there. Let's see. I would definitely have Maria Hill there as a supporting character of the book, because it's called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She needs to appear in the book a lot more often. I mean, do you know how many issues she appeared in all 10 issues? She appeared in two issues. In the previous S.H.I.E.L.D. book, she appeared in like 1 or 2 at most. She should appear a little more often than just 1 or 2. I would have her as a supporting character, not as part of this team. Aside from having the agent from Deathlock series in there, Would I throw in the agent from the Deadpool series? No, because that character is heavily associated with Deadpool anyways, and Deadpool still got his series. I would not add her to the book. I mean, aside from that female agent, I don't remember her name. The agent who was sort of like Deathlock's liaison in his book, who appeared along with him in all 10 issues. I would definitely add her to the book. Aside from Maria Hill as a supporting character, I would also throw in Henry Hayes' daughter as a supporting character, definitely. I would also like it if they would explore something that could have happened, like at the end of one issue, like in one of the issues, I believe it's issue either 1 or 2, Fitz asked out May on a date. Now, I don't think in the comic May is older than Fitz. I think May is not as old as the actress who plays in the TV show, who's in her... I think she's 51. I think so. I would think that the woman is a little bit younger than she is in the show. If I would take a theory of how old she is, I would say that May in the comics is in her early to mid 30s. That's my guess. It's a little bit odd seeing Fitz ask out May, because in the show he's with Simmons. Yeah, it really makes no sense. I would have liked it if that one had gone someplace, because there were some little things here and there they just brought up and just dropped. Maybe because Guggenheim didn't have time. Yeah, because the guy also has to do a show. Fine. Tom Taylor does the same thing. That's why right now he's only on, like, what, 2 comics right now? I mean, you have the Justice Gods Among Us Ground Zero series, which I haven't read yet. And there's also All New Wolverine, which right now is doing a sequel story to Enemy of State. So, yeah. So, that's it for this video. Stay tuned for more videos. Would I do another one like this again? Like, do like a video instead of an audio only? I might do that. I probably will do that with Invasion because the video apparently the audio was gone. I don't know what happened, but something happened. Okay, so until I see you all in the next episode. So anybody who has read the comic Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., please leave it down in the comments below and tell me what you thought of this really good series that should not have been canceled. Yeah, I didn't buy all the issues, but I would have at least thought the book would have been a success. I mean, I buy books like Scarlet Witch, Power and Iron Fist, Punisher, even though I haven't bought issues since issue 1. That's not exactly... I know that's kind of my fault, but I should buy more. But I still read the books. I still enjoy them. So, yeah, that's it. Okay? So, see you all in the next video. Bye.